Well, this is a strange thing. It's a little magnet, a tiny little gold cube, which is floating in the air, as you can see between these two black pieces, which are both magnets. And it's a very early version of this extraordinary levitating magnet effect, which is quite common now with tops and things doing it. But this is one of the first they ever did, and you can adjust it by turning this piece here, which brings it down closer together or lifts it up a bit, and then the magnet drops down or lifts onto the ceiling of the piece. But the very early version in the, I think the late 90s this was, all these toys here you see are the late 90s, was miraculous when it first came out. I was astonished at it and got one from my collection, and then kept out to look as they developed it into much more amazing effects. But it's nice to have that for the history of the very first version, showing a little thing defying gravity, but not shooting up in the air as ordinary magnets would, or dropping onto the lower one as well. Very nice effect that. Nice to have a bit of history to the extraordinary piece. It's very well made. So yes, all these were the late 90s and the early the 20noughties. Quite a lot from Japan as places. This is just a children's toy. It's a very odd idea. These are pith balls, very, very light. And you just have to turn it on, which is, the switch is here. Oops, there's it. And the kids have got to go and grab them. What a noise it makes, goodness me. But that's the idea. Or they put a card thing through it to block it and have a game with it, because it's the anti-gravity thing. It's lifting out in the air with a bit of noise as well to it. Well, this is a German thing which had started off with a lovely shape, a sort of double diamond shape, which I can't get back to at the moment, but it feels nice. It's very strongly made. There are little hinges here, which are very durable. I've had it and played with it for at least 20 years, and I like the idea that you can make a whole range of shapes, and very pleasing shapes at that, you know. So a lovely little play doodle thing where there's one single figure at the end which is quite elusive. And I have a bit of fun each time I pick it up and spend 5 minutes trying to find that way of doing it. The quality of the product is very high, so it's got a lot of, it'll last a long time, that's the main thing. This is bizarre. This is a ballpoint pen. And of course it's got when you operate this to make the pen, I think, come out, something happens up here. Let me show you. It's a little tray and there's, prawn sushi or something, a fish sushi anyway. Hold it up and it's very nicely done, and then this allows you to write on the other end when you've decided what it is. Leave it like that for a minute. This is a very odd thing. It's a sliding block puzzle with lenticulation on it, and it's got two sorts of pictures in it, which is extraordinary. One is a sort of shark thing, and the other is a diver who's diving straight into the mouth of the thing. But then when you want to play with it, all you do is take this piece off, lift it up, and then you shove the pieces around and get them to move, and get, well, you need to muddle it up first, and then you start putting it together again and try and get back to the single diver, which morphs into something that's going to gobble it up, which makes it a little more interesting than normal sliding block puzzles. So unusual. I don't think I've ever seen them attempt it again, so perhaps it didn't catch on, but I like it as an item. It's unusual. This is totally bizarre. They're always adding sweets to American toys, and this is the very most extrovert version of it. It's a yo-yo, so I can play with it doing a yo-yo like that, up to the top. And when I've finished playing with it and doing stunts, I can then take this out or put it back in and lick it and enjoy a few licks before I go back to yo-yoing again. What a bizarre... Normally these sweets would be hidden inside a bit of the actual handles, but this one is completely overt, and it's impossible to make that if I fixed it in to make it yo, because it's completely out of balance, of course. But it's just a park for the yo-yo, or a little vehicle. Very strange. This is this wonderful passion for the Japanese to have fighting toys and martial arts and things. And these little figures sit on a box. There's nothing in the box. And these little things, you have a little competition where you have one of these and your friend battles you with this. And because it's got a special construction underneath, a little light tap makes the whole thing jig about. I'm hoping to see I can get one of the things falling off. Well, he's fallen off and he's lost. There are 3 figures that can go there all together, and he's going to stay on board. So a bit noisy for people, but kids love fighting toys and wrestling toys and that sort of thing. This is from Tokyo again. It's a perfectly normal Rubik cube, except it's got lots and lots of Hello Kitties all over it, with yellow background or red background or green, and then you can turn it in the usual way and get it muddled up, and then I can't solve it because I've never learned to do it without the instructions. But it's very nicely made. It's a good company in Japan that makes it, and I'm pleased to add it to my collection. While this one here, which looks like one of those fiercely 4x4 Rubik cubes, which is very difficult, in fact is a spoof, because to solve it, I can do it in about 2 seconds. You just go ha ha ha, ha ha ha, ha ha ha, and it solves. Very clever, bizarre idea. Now this little last piece here is very charming. I've had to pinch one of my novelties, which is a giant box of matches, just to get a nice slope like that. And this figure here is very cleverly made. It's got extremely delicate, but they're not delicate, they're actually quite robust cardboard pieces, and the way they're suspended there to make it work very easily, it's got to be that way around because he's going to face you. You see him wobble down the slope. And he does all these charming little actions of sort of standing on one foot and then deciding not to, if I give it a little bit of encouragement. And he still keeps going, keeps going. Oh, and over the top, he's kept, my goodness, isn't he clever? So that's and there was a little kit I had to make in order to get that to construct. I was so pleased with the end result because it's perfectly balanced to make it do as many chaotic movements as possible. So all from the 3 years before the millennium year up to 2 years after, I was finding very, very unusual things, travelling mostly to Japan and America, and finding little wonders, most of which I've hardly ever taken out. So here we go. I've shown them.